Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Monica.
Wow. Well, thoughts become things. If you learnt nothing else from this conversation, take that with you. Thoughts become things. We're going to take a break and then we'll see you back here for the Circle of 12.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. That was wonderful with Mike Dooley. What a treasure.
Absolutely. And I love the very 3 impactful words, thoughts become things.
And I'll tell you, that whole idea, that principle of you can create your own reality and thoughts become things, that was laughed at. When I started channeling, I remember that very premise being presented, and people thought it was just stupid. And now here we are, 30 years later, and it's almost mainstream. I think part of that was caused by The Secret. And thank you, Mike, for all that you do and being part of such a wonderful project.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful reminder again, thoughts become things. And how Cryon says is that consciousness is energy. And so we can use our consciousness to send energy.
What I'd like to do now is move into a part of the program we call Miracle Moments. It's about celebrating the miracles of others, and it's about connecting and sending love and compassion to those who are asking for a miracle. I want you to know that the energy of compassion and prayer for others is powerful. Group prayer works. Many of our members have told us about the miracles that they have received. I'd like to ask Monica to share a miracle moment, which happened to 2 of our Circle of 12 members.
So I have 2 miracle moments to share this evening, and they came from Italy. They were shared to me by our Cryon Italian team, Luca and Julia. And Luca and Julia, we love you. You do such a wonderful job in bringing Healing Wednesday to our Italian family. And actually, we have many wonderful teams that translate Healing Wednesday into Spanish, Portuguese, German, and Hebrew. But back to the miracle moments. The first miracle happened to Irene, and Irene says, I went to the dentist for a small procedure on a tooth, and the dentist told me, let's start working, and if it hurts too much, we will stop and do some anesthesia. I then remembered what Lee Carroll said about his surgery. I spoke with Innate and my cells, explaining that the dentist's work and tools were being used to restore the tooth to its shape so that it could carry out its function for a long time to come. It was a wonderful experience. I could feel the work being done, but without any kind of annoying sensation. I didn't even feel the sensation of cold water or air when washing and drying the area. I was in this place of peace and serenity where my cells were dancing with the tools and all the other things the dentist was using. The most wonderful part is that this experience made me realize that this works for me too and not just for others, as I tended to think before. I have such immense gratitude to Cryon and Lee. Oh, thank you, Irene. And this second miracle moment comes from Elisabetta. And Elisabetta says, I want to share my successes so that they can help other people. About 2 years ago, I listened to Cryon talk about Innate and that we are the commanders of our own biology. Due to an emotional shock from when I was fired and lost my job, my blood sugar rose to a very high level in the morning on an empty stomach. Not even the medicine the doctor gave me could bring it back to a normal level. So much so that I stopped taking the medicine. Instead, I started talking to my innate and sending love to my cells, asking to normalize the situation. After about 3 months, my blood sugar level dropped back to normal without any medicine, and it continues to remain stable even today. Thanks to all of you, and thank you for sharing those wonderful examples of how powerful we are. And I hope all of you paid attention that both of these examples were to show you that you can do this as well. It's not just for others. So what I'd like to do now is to send energy of love and compassion to all those who have requested our help. So it's so easy to do this. I invite you to close your eyes and to focus on the area of your heart. And as you focus on the area of your heart, I invite you to relax your breathing, breathing nice deep breaths slowly in through the nose, out through your mouth, and continue focusing on the area of your heart. And as we focus on that area of the heart, let us feel, sense, imagine, or visualize the cells of our heart dancing to the song of love, gratitude, appreciation, and compassion. And so just continue to feel, sense, imagine, visualize the area of your heart. Visualize, feel, sense, imagine the cells of your heart vibrating and dancing to the song of love, compassion, gratitude, appreciation. And as we continue focusing on the area of our heart, we create a coherence of energy between all of us. And from this place, we are now moving in a beautiful rhythm of love, dancing to the music of unconditional love and compassion. And just like music, the notes that are played can float through the air and be transmitted to those around the musician. Let us now feel, sense, imagine, or visualize the dancing cells of our heart now floating out into the air, and those frequencies, those notes, those vibrations are now being felt and perceived by those around us. And because we are many on this planet, and because there is a quantum energy that surrounds us, these notes and music and vibrations and frequencies of the song of love is now being transmitted to all of those who are requesting help from us. And it's also being transmitted to those who are requesting a miracle to happen for them. It could be a synchronicity. It could be emotional healing. It could be a physical healing. But right now they are being bathed in a flood of music and dancing of joy, happiness, and gratitude. And so let us hold this energy, this frequency of love, as we move across and welcome Cryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryon. Come a little closer. This is the Circle of 12. And I've said before, it really doesn't have anything to do with 12 of anything. It is a metaphor for the structure of all things. Everything is based in 12 or segments of 12 in the universe. This structure is where we take you. We take you to a journey to visit your own soul. That has been the premise of the Circle of 12 ever since we began. But more than a premise and more than an exercise, more than a working meditation, it has an element of reality that we told you from the beginning that we expect you to discover. It's a funny word, expect you. Usually we'd say, we invite you to discover it. Now we expect you to discover it. And the reason is because it's there. It's before you. If I invited you to see something when I turned on the light, that wouldn't really be the word, would it? I expect you to see something when we turn on the light. If it's there, you'll see it. I expect you to feel the reality of what we do next. What has happened in 3 to 4 decades of human consciousness is a gradual evolvement. An evolvement in all areas, but the one that is the most profound is the spiritual one. The one that sees an answer to who am I? It's the one that sees magnificence where before there was victimization. Now that's a big statement, but it's true. There are so many asking the questions, what's next? Who am I? What's this all about? And receiving answers. Instead of wringing their hands, thinking they have nothing to do with anything and what's going to happen next, there are those who are actually understanding and seeing the reality of the energy they have as pieces of God that they are. There is divinity in all of you. We're going to cross the bridge yet again, as we always do. We're going to go into that beautiful area, this first meeting of the year, as we always have, and invite you once again to feel, could this be real? To feel the answer to that question. Could this be real? A reality that is perhaps different from the one that you grew up in, the one you walk around in, but it's real nonetheless. Is it possible that there are levels of reality? And the answer is, oh yes. Is it possible there are multidimensionalities, experiences that are yours that are every bit as real as the one that you experience walking around in 4D? And the answer is yes. I wish you could ask the shamans of old and their cosmology. Tell me about the levels of reality, and they would start in and they would give you a walkthrough of how they've been to many of them and come back with information from all of them. I would like to take you to another reality. It is your soul. It's across that bridge. Come, take my hand. Walk with me. Hold my hand as we walk across this bridge representing a place you know to a place you don't know. And even those who have been with us from the beginning and have crossed this over 100 times, you still don't know what's there. You only experience a touch of it, a piece of it. But that piece is always some of the most beautiful experiences you could have. Human being, come with me now across the middle of the bridge that obfuscates what's the destination. And as you cross this bridge, come into the light. A beautiful light that is not necessarily brighter than you have seen before. It's just more magnificent than you've seen before. Come with me from black and white to color. Come with me where everything you see has life and dances before you. Whether it's the grass or the ground or the sky, it all knows you, greets you, and says, welcome back. And here you are. Walk with me through that beautiful doorway that has your name on it that says, we invite you to still another experience. Come with me. Come on in. Again, come to a very large place with a chair where you're going to be administered to. It's about time. Again, we go to a situation where there will be one or more angelic beings from an angelic realm, you might say, which is only to say they're just like you, only they're on this side of the veil, my side of the veil, the one that's least understood, the one that you say has angels, and we say friends. Sit down in that chair, be ready, because here comes the angel who I will say is absolutely nameless, but humans want to name them all. It's interesting, because after you've named the angel, it'll go away, it'll come back, and you'll name it something else, because the angel never looks the same. This is multidimensionality at its best. Here comes this beautiful angel, and it greets you. It comes before you as you sit there, and it kneels down. Isn't this interesting? Takes your hands and says, welcome home. Good to have you back, if even for a few minutes. It's great to have you back. And you recognize not just the majesty, but the friendliness, the camaraderie of this beautiful friend, angel. The angel stands and begins to paint pictures in the sky, you might say, or around you, of something very specific for you to see. And then you realize what this angel is doing. The whole purpose is to show you the future. It's a generic kind of future, not a specific one. The angel paints civilizations that are smiling. The angel paints the future of Earth. The angel paints skies which are not polluted. The angel paints for you the evolving joy of humanity. A joy that comes from no starvation. A joy that comes from no war. A joy that comes to having figured out how different cultures can live with one another with totally different ideas. I mean, even ideas about God. They figured it out. A culture that has an allowance of belief for another culture. Those are the pictures that are painted in the air before you. The angel of the future, you might say, is telling you it's going to be different than you think, dear ones. Do not stress or worry about what is coming for this planet, because you are here to help at difficult times. And then the angel paints a picture of you, and it shocks you and surprises you. You recognize it, but you don't recognize it. You really don't. And this may not sit well with many of you, but the picture is of a child. And it's not you as a child. It's you in the future as a child. Then the angel goes further and paints children from the child. And that'd be your children. And the angel sits back and says, this is your legacy. You will begin it this time in this lifetime, and you will be enjoying it the next time, and the next time, and the next time. All this the angel is showing you is the evolution of the consciousness of this planet to a place you don't expect, where humanity eventually understands joy, compassion, and the absolute need for some of these things like kindness and allowance and the realization that you're all the same. At the core level, you all have this same kind of soul. If I said it was the same soul, you wouldn't like that. But in a multidimensional way, it is. You come home, and home is the same culture. The sacred one, this one that you're visiting now, the one that greets you unconditionally and says, welcome home. But on earth, it's changing. And you may say to yourself, well, it doesn't look too good right now. And the angel knows what you're thinking and says, welcome to a planet you have asked to be on that's in trouble because it's in correction, because it is eliminating dark, because it is waking up, because it is becoming colorful from black and white, because it is changing in a way that is exceptionally difficult. It's a change of consciousness, and it may take generations, and you will be here when it does. That's what the angel is saying. And you may even be so bold as to say to the angel, well, this is wonderful, but how about me? How about my future? Right now, what's going to happen to me? And the angel looks at you and smiles and holds your hands and say, picture all things beautiful. And the angel looks at you and says, promise me, picture in your mind all things beautiful, and then put you at the center of it, and it will happen that way. Because you are powerful, human being. It's time you realized it. Relax, 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 and be loved. This is the future. For you, for humanity. It's what you think that then becomes the reality. That's the energy of consciousness that is love. Thank you, human, for crossing this bridge with me to hear these words about how magnificent you are and how much hope there is for all that is coming. Thank you, human being, for enduring ugly things and darkness and spreading the light where you can and being patient while you do. I am Cryon, in love with humanity. And so it is.
It was wrong and it felt dry, but it didn't hurt. I tried to heal myself first before going to the doctor. Then I went to the doctor. She said I had something like bacteria. But later when the doctor did tests, she found that the bacteria inside my throat was gone. I am so glad for Kryon, who is helping us to know how to heal. I celebrate that, Carmen, and it tells me that you are communicating with Innate and giving instructions to your body, and the results are miraculous and beautiful, and thank you for sharing. This second miracle moment, it comes from Ursula, and it was submitted in the membership portal about a year ago. Ursula says, in my travels, when I drove back from Italy to Germany, I passed Switzerland, where I had a stroke in a restaurant. My first miracle was that one lady immediately recognized my problem and called for a helicopter. During the flight in the helicopter, in those moments, I thought of Kryon, who said I could heal myself. I was talking to my Innate, and I was sending my body all my love. I could immediately feel a big relief. In the hospital, they didn't think I had a stroke because I could move my legs and I could walk. Within 24 hours, my speech was much better. I even dictated this message in English, which is not my mother language. My body has shown me that healing myself is my reality. Thank you, Kryon. I am convinced that I shall overcome this stroke without any problems. What a wonderful, amazing miracle moment, Ursula. Thank you for sharing. And again, another example of talking to our innate, our smart body intelligence has had miraculous results. And right now, I would like all of us to create a field of coherence with each other to send energy to those who are requesting our help. But in the first instance, and being inspired by Sarah K. Grace, who was our guest earlier, I really want to acknowledge all of the first responders and all of the caregivers on the planet. Many are in roles where they are caring for their children above and beyond what the normal care requirements are. Many of you are caring for parents above and beyond the normal requirements of what we have to do, caretaking for members in your family, and some of you are paid caretakers, and it's a big responsibility. So I invite all of us to close our eyes and just focus on sending a wave of appreciation to all first responders and to all caregivers that are on the planet. And right now we're just sending a wave of appreciation, a wave of acknowledgement that we actually see what they are doing and how important they are to the people around them. Sometimes being a caregiver is quiet work, that you're doing it without being seen. And so in this moment, let's just energetically hug every caregiver, every first responder. We see you, we acknowledge you, we honour you, we send you our love. And so now, with that wave of appreciation and gratitude being received, perhaps that's even yourself in this moment, allow yourself to receive the appreciation so many have for you. Let us now send that same wave of acknowledgement to those who are requesting our help. There is a reason they are reaching out to us. So let's first just acknowledge that call for help from us. We see you. Whether it's past, present, or future, your request is known by the partnership we have with our soul. And the soul family is here in this moment, focusing on you and your request, sending you love, compassion, most benevolent outcome for your situation. And let's now extend that to the family of humanity. We see each and every one of us experiencing a test of duality, if you will. And that inside of each person, there is a core essence filled with a consciousness that knows all about love. And so let's visualize or feel or sense that love consciousness inside every human bubbling out to the surface and sending that wave of love around the planet. And with that wave of love flowing around our beautiful globe, let us now turn to Cryon and the Circle of 12.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryon. Come a little closer. This is the Circle of 12. It is a time of relaxation, of peacefulness. You're not here to learn tonight. You're here to experience tonight. Perhaps to be administered to, as we have had so many energies in the past to do for you. But it is a time of reflection. Sometimes this particular section, the Circle of 12, causes you to rethink a little bit. And the rethinking is perhaps of your reality and what it brings you, or what it does not bring you. We have said in the past that the Healing Wednesday program, the Circle of 12, is a safe place. It's a place where you can totally relax and be peaceful. But more than that, I don't know how many of you have actuated this experience, made it part of your reality. It's difficult
It's a meditation, you might say. And yet, as you discover your multidimensional side, you also start to realize what the scientists have been telling you. There are multiple realities. And in that, a multidimensional energy, such as a human being, can work in realities that are not just one. Therefore, even scientists say it's possible for you to be in two places at the same time, perhaps to enjoy two realities at the same time. Let's do that right now as we go across the bridge. Take my hand. Relax into this music, this time. Metaphorically cross a bridge into a reality that you deserve to know about. You cross this bridge and we do it together, hand in hand. It's a symbol for caring. It's a symbol for safety. It's the hand that you took when your mother or your father or anyone who was in charge of you felt safe, would hold and take you somewhere. This is the hand that you go with me across this bridge to a grand place, if you wish to call it a place, a grand energy of your soul. It's really your home, your real home. This particular energy that we visit is the one that's forever, not like Earth. This one remains. This one does not change. This is the God part of you. As you arrive there, we go through a door yet again. Every single time, almost, we go through a door. The door is a symbol of moving from one energy to another, just like you do when you open a door and go into another room. There is expectation of the room that you enter into. Once again, I would love you to visualize a place of truly nothingness where there is a chair. It's huge. There is no what we would call bias there of what you might learn. There is nothing there to make you think that you know what's coming. It is neutral in all ways except one. There's love there. And you feel it as you go in, because every single time you sit in that chair, you're administered to. There's something for you. There are messages. There are entities. There's beauty. There's revelation. There might be healing. And so every single time you enter this room, it's ultimate safety. It's ultimate peace. It's your sanctuary of your soul. The sanctuary of your soul is where you expect nothing but that which is loving, beautiful, kind, compassionate. It has your name on it. What a place. Dear ones, that doesn't exist on Earth. You might have created something close, but nothing like this, because this is the core essence of you. In this room, you've actually met your higher self. That's pretty special. Tonight, I want you to sit, and I want an angel to come forward as an intermediary for you to communicate with that which is the beauty, the majesty, the wonder, the splendor of Earth, of that which you call Mother Earth, that which you call Gaia. Is it possible to have a conversation with the planet? And the answer is yes. You see, there is a sentience, an aliveness of the planet itself. Can it speak in one voice? And the answer is yes, it often does. Because it is a closed system like you are. It is not random. This planet knows you, and we have said this over and over. Knows your name. What do you think the planet wants to say to you tonight? Let's involve the angel Ariel, which has been called in the past the angel of planet Earth. the one who sits perhaps at the right-hand side of the Creator and is responsible for that which is the earth energy. This is all metaphoric, dear ones, but it is something that helps all of you to relate. An angel that will carry the message of Gaia to you. Sit and listen to what Gaia says to you right now as the angel Ariel speaks to you directly. This is Gaia speaking, says the angel. The first message I want to give you is this planet knows your name. This planet has known your name every time you've walked on the surface of it. This planet was created for you, for all humanity. The angel continues with messages you don't expect to hear from Earth itself. The Earth continues. They call me Mother because I birth life for you and always will. They call me Mother because I have ultimate wisdom for the survival of you, for humanity. They call me ferocious and powerful. They call me all manner of things because in order to create that which is sustainable life for you, sometimes there are storms. But we love you enough to be slow, to show you what is coming so you're safe, to give you signals and signs because we know your name, to give you enough time, if you cooperate, to move out of danger. As this planet of yours who loves you moves around from temperature to temperature, from place to place, you might say, in a multidimensional form that we both are in. Here is a planet talking to you, dear ones, through that angel who wants to sit and discuss things with you. What could the planet tell you, you might say? What could planet Earth speak to you and say that would be germane or important to you and your life? It's so big and you're so small. Well, I want you to sit and listen for just a moment to what Ariel is going to interpret from Gaia. What else is there? And Gaia starts to talk through Ariel. Dear one, I have been here with you, working with you, ever since your first lifetime. Let me tell you a little bit about who you are, where you've lived, what you've gone through, what we have experienced together. I know you. I know all of your friends. But specifically, I know you now because something is different and is happening. You're starting to awaken to an energy of the Creator. I have always been the energy of the Creator. Let me share some of this with you right now, so that when you go back to what you call your three-dimensional reality, you will have new information about me. And when you look at a mountain or a tree, I want you to remember the message. I have been with you and know of your name every lifetime, right now, tomorrow. I am Gaia, in love with you. How does that make you feel? I would love you to stay and listen to the stories. And you might say, well, Cryon, if you're not going to give the stories, I can't hear them. Oh, really? Have you not received these messages yet? You are worthy and deserve the intuition that is coming next. Even when I am gone and the music remains, Gaia is speaking to you, in love with you, telling you about even how the animals were built to be here for you. Gaia exists for humans, dear ones. That is why Gaia is always in love, no matter how it's treated, and will always be there. How does that make you feel? Stay and listen to this voice. I am also in love with humanity. I'm Cryon. And so it is.